Hello. Hello, everybody. It's another week, February 23rd. It's Tuesday. And you guys know I don't usually keep the phone close like this. Like whenever I do this, it's just when I'm starting. So I could go ahead and invite people on my phone. It's just so much easier for me. It's easier for me when I do it this way. So I'm just going to wait on you guys. I have another segment in 30 minutes. I'm going to be speaking at a conference that I was invited to by Miss Juliet all the way in the UK. And so I'm going to be there in 30 minutes from now. So I'm asking you guys to come on now. Come on now so I can drop this word that's been burning in my heart for you. And let me go ahead and invite people. As I'm doing this, please go ahead and click share and then tell me where you are watching from. Go ahead and click share and then tell me where you are watching from. Hello, everybody. I'm going to be with you for about 20 minutes today because I have another conference that I'm going to be speaking at. And but it was just really burning on my heart to talk to you about a topic that I title In All Weather. In all weather, in every weather. And I found myself doing something yesterday here in New York, and I learned something from it. So I was like, okay, I will be talking about this today. So please just go ahead and click share. Tell me where you are watching from. I'm sorry that this is so up close. It's up close because I'm inviting people. As soon as I'm done inviting, I'm gonna distance the phone away, okay? So please, as I'm inviting people, you go ahead and invite people. And I'm also going to use this opportunity to tell you about the sex class that's coming up March the 31st. If you're dealing with emotional problems in your sex life, in your marriage life, if your marriage is failing because there is no sex, if your libido is high, if your libido is low, if you guys don't know what are godly positions or ungodly positions, if there is such a thing, please go ahead and join our sex class. That's going to be March the 31st. And I'm not looking into the camera because I'm inviting people. Please go ahead and tell me where you are watching from and go ahead and click share. I'm going to be with you for about 20 to 25 minutes today. I just want to discuss this very important topic that was just really strong on my heart. Please go ahead and click share and let me know that you are here. Tell me where you are watching from. And so if you are interested in the sex class, please go ahead and sign up on WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is +1 917 349 7226. Okay. God bless you so much. I'm going to give myself a timer now. I have 2 more minutes to invite people, which means you have 2 more minutes to invite people. Go ahead and click share. Go ahead and invite. Today, my topic is in all weather. In all weather, in all weather, in all season, in all weather, in all season. Will you be there? Will you show up? Will you be there? Will you show up? Will you be there? Will you show up? I'm still inviting people. Are you inviting people? I hope that's what you're doing. Okay. I hope that's what you're doing. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Yay. How is everybody doing today? Today is Tuesday. Go ahead and tell me what you've been doing. Do you have any miracles yet? Well, you being alive is a miracle. So go ahead and tell me what you've been doing. I have 1 more minute. I'm looking at the clock. I have 1 more minute for us to kick off. 1 more minute. Please tell me where you're watching from and click share. 1 more minute and we're going to kick off, okay? 1 more minute. Today, my topic is in all weather. In all weather. In all weather. I'm looking at the time. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm looking at the time. God bless you today. God bless all of you for being here. God bless you today. God bless you today. It's going to be good. It's just a quick word. It's just a quick encouragement. Yep, I'm done. I have to keep to my word. So, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do this. How is everybody today? God bless you. God bless you today. God bless you today. Let's see who's here. Hi, Joy. How are you doing? Ifoma from Minnesota. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Mr. Kevin from Louisville. Hello, Auntie Damaris, all the way from Abuja. Ifoma, thank you for being here. Olubumi. Oh, hi, Auntie. It's nice seeing you again. Ifoma, I'm waving at you. Olubumi, I'm waving at you from the chair in my office. Mr. Kevin, you are too funny. And Deborah, thank you all so much for being here today. Today, my topic is in all weather. So yesterday, I had a very, very important meeting in Manhattan. A very, very important meeting. Why am I saying meeting? What is that? A very, very important. Is this light? Okay. A very, very important meeting in Manhattan. And I literally walk out of my house, right? And it was snowing. I was like, what? Was this in the news? It was snowing. And that was so strange. And so I'm like, okay, well, I still have to have this meeting because it's a mandatory meeting, you know? So, by the time that I got to Manhattan, it was raining cats and dogs, y'all. Like, it was raining. Like, first it started snowing and then it was raining. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know, and it had to take me a distance from the train station at where I stopped to my meeting. And so I was completely drenched in rain by the time I got to my destination. I had my meeting, I came out, and it was still raining, you know? And as I was trying to find my bearing, because Manhattan is wonderful, so I was trying to find my bearing on my map, and I looked around, and I saw that everybody, like, people were holding their umbrellas, people were talking on the phone, people were walking fast, you know, people were just going and just living their life, and as if it wasn't raining. And I was one of them because I was not holding an umbrella and I was just walking and going about my business, and it was raining. And immediately I just heard in my spirit, in all weather. And I told myself, I said, oh, Manasa, I am very, very proud of you because you keep showing up. And so I was also looking at all of these people, and I was like, in spite of the rain, in spite of the weather, everybody is still going about their business. In spite of how hard it was raining yesterday, all these New Yorkers, all of us were just walking on the street and going about our business and doing our hustle and doing our work. And so I had to applaud myself yesterday because I was not one of those people who were like, oh, it's raining, so I'm not going to go out today, or, oh my God, it's too hot, so I'm not going to go out today, or it's too this or it's too that, so I'm not going to go out and I'm going to postpone. A lot of people postpone everything based on their weather, based on how the weather is, not based on their weather, based on how the weather is. Now, if it was your weather, then that's a different story because you are the one who is planning how the weather would be. But when you're planning your life around the weather, that's really silly. Let me tell you why. Because you are not in control of the weather. So how many times are you going to make changes around something that has no guarantee? How many times are you going to augment your plans? How many times are you going to tweak this and tweak that because of the weather? Now, when I'm talking about the weather, I'm talking about the temperature of your home. I'm talking about your job. I'm talking about your children. I'm talking about your contract. I'm talking about what makes your life what it is. You can't keep checking in and checking out, checking in and checking out, checking in and checking out based on how the weather is, based on how hunky-dory everything is, based on how happy you are, or based on how sad you are, or based on how the so-and-so is there, or based on how so-and-so is not there, based on how money is, or based on how money is not there. You know, in spite of the weather, you have to show up. In spite of the weather, you have to show up. Please write that down. In spite of the weather, you have to show up. Just write down show up, show up, show up. In spite of the weather, you have to show up. Hello, Kiara Campbell. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Asmao. Thank you so much for being here. And my baby, El Gibor, my husband. Thank you so much for being here. Joy, thank you so much for being here. In spite of the weather, you have to show up. In spite of the weather, you have to show up. Now, this was a revelation that God gave me yesterday. What did he say? He said, do not let the weather stop you from going out. Why? Because your food is outside. Type that down. Your food is outside. The food is outside. Your sustenance is outside. It's not inside. Your sustenance is outside. Your food is outside. The hustle is outside. Your work is outside. You understand? Your pension is outside. Hello, Amber. Thank you so much for being here. And but Aaron, I love your last name. Thank you so much for being here. The food is outside, so it's important that you go out. If you don't go out, you don't eat. If you don't go out, you have no pension. If you don't go out, you don't work. If you don't go out, those bills will not be paid. If you don't go out, no school fees will be paid. If you don't go out, nothing will be paid. Nothing. Nothing. You have to go out. In spite of the situation, you got to pick yourself up. In spite of what you're going through, you have to pick yourself up and you have to go out. You have to show up. Show up. In spite of how you feel, show up. You're throwing up, show up. You're sick, show up. They lied on you, show up. Your boss is acting up, show up. You gotta show up. Why? Because your purpose and your mission is so much bigger than the weather. Your purpose is bigger than the weather. Please write that down. Your purpose is bigger than the weather. Your purpose is bigger than the weather. Yesterday, when I went to my appointment and I got in there, everybody was waiting on me. Do you understand? And when I walked into that office, there were big, gigantic windows. So they saw that it was raining. They saw that it was raining. They didn't say, oh, thank you so much for coming in spite of the rain. No. We have an appointment and you're going to make this appointment regardless. Somebody write regardless. Regardless, you better make that appointment. Regardless, you better make that appointment. Regardless of if the door is closed, then you jump out of the window. Regardless. Okay, if you need to walk out with an umbrella, then you do so. If you need to wear a big old jacket, then you do so. But whatever you do, you need to get out. You cannot continue to stay inside, suffering from depression and suffering from negativity and wallowing in self-pity. You can't do that anymore. Somebody type that. I will not do that anymore. Olubumi says, great word. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ifoma says, show up. Yes, show up. And that was what I learned yesterday. That was what I learned yesterday. I mean, I'm somebody who always shows up. Like I show up at work and I show up in people's lives. I always show up. When I don't show up, then know that there is a problem. Just know that there is a problem. So I have a track record in showing up, but I also have a track record to when I was really going through something major in my life. And I noticed that I did not show up. I just didn't show up in certain aspects of my life. But however, I am showing up now. Because I can see the consequences. Now, let me tell you something about not showing up. When you don't show up, you delay yourself. Because the time that you were supposed to use yesterday, now you're going to have to use that time to make it up. And when you do that, you waste more time. You delay yourself. Type that down. You delay yourself when you don't show up. Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. God bless you for this message. Thank you so much, ma'am. When you don't show up, you delay yourself. Hello, Samuel. Thank you so much for being here. When you do not show up, you delay yourself and you give yourself a bad reputation. When you do not show up, you delay yourself and you give yourself a bad reputation. When you don't show up, you delay yourself and you give yourself a bad reputation. When you don't show up, you delay yourself and you give yourself a bad reputation. Now everybody is talking about you. Now all they say is you are disloyal, you don't show up, you are untrustworthy. People don't even know what's going on with you. Meanwhile, somebody is beating you at home. Meanwhile, your husband is beating you at home. Meanwhile, your wife is beating your kids. Meanwhile, something major is going on at home, but you have allowed the weather and the temperature of your family, you have allowed that season to completely overtake your responsibilities, to overtake your commitment. Your commitment is to your job. People don't know what's going on at home. And people don't care what's going on at home. People do not care that you are having marital problems. People do not care that all hell is breaking loose in your life. People do not care that your wallet is empty. All they care about is that you made a commitment. The moment you realize that you can no longer make a commitment, that you cut it off. You cut off the commitment. But to have people stand there and wait on you to book an appointment and not show up now, that's wrong. And that will tell on your reputation. People are not going to know that you have a black eye. People are not going to know that you're tired and you're broken. You don't even have any money to get there. Open your mouth and communicate and say, hey, look, I'm going through something in my life right now and I may need to back up for a bit. But to have people waiting on you, to have your kids waiting on you, to have your husband waiting on you, everybody is depending on you and you are not showing up because your life is determined by the weather. Your life is determined by the season. You can't do that. I can't even begin to tell you the number of things that I had been through in my life. I can't even begin to tell you. But I've always shown up on Sunday morning. Always. And I think I got that from my parents because especially my mother, I would see how she would go through. She would go through the storm on Saturday and she would show up on Sunday and she would be looking cute. She would be, like she knew how to just have it together. And I think I learned that from her. And in spite of all of the wind and all the rain that my father went through in his health and in his ministry, the man still showed up every Sunday, showed up on Wednesdays. The man showed up. He was consistent. And I'm that kind of person too, regardless. Sometimes when I open my mouth to tell people what I'm going through, no, there is no way. If you go on my Instagram, you would see my latest post. I posted something yesterday and I said, I don't look like what I've been through, and I certainly don't look like where I am at the moment. I don't even look like it. So I've stopped telling people my situations because they're not even going to believe me anyway, because I don't look like it. And do you know why I don't look like my situations? Because I keep showing up. I'm telling you, as long as you keep showing up, people have nothing to say. Ooh! As long as you keep showing up, people have nothing to say. Now, you may say that, oh, well, it doesn't matter what people say. I don't care what people say. Oh, no, I am not one of those people. You need to care what people say. You need to care what people say, because in order to have a promotion, a phone call will be made. References will be made, right? Yes. And there are some people who ask people about somebody to another person, to that person, to ask if they could marry that person. So please do not be part of the bandwagon who doesn't care what people say. You better care what people say, because your reputation matters. The moment that you realize that you cannot make your commitment, the moment that you realize, you know what, I can't continue in this marriage. Why? Because I am a gigolo. I cannot continue. Please check out. But don't keep people standing there and holding on to vapor. That's not fair. Stop making your co-workers wait on you. People should not be waiting on you. You got to show up. You got to show up in life. And you know what? Forget about all of these people who have made appointments or who you've made appointments with. What about life? Life has made an appointment with you. Do you understand? The fact that you are still breathing, you are on an appointment. You have an assignment. The fact that you are still breathing is your appointment with life. And for every time that you decide to wallow in depression, to wallow in self-pity, for every time that you decide to look at the weather before you make a decision, you are missing your appointment in life. Let's not even talk about you missing your appointment with your kids and not keeping to your promise, and not keeping your appointment to your spouse, and not keeping your appointment to your church, not keeping your appointment to work, not keeping appointments to friends. Let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about your commitment to life and your appointment with life today. You see, when you woke up this morning and you noticed that you were breathing, that's your appointment with life. You have 24 hours today to make a difference. You have 24 hours today to change your story. 24 hours today. Now, 24 times 7, and then 7 times 31, and then 31 times 12, and then 12 months times how many years? You don't know how many years you have. You don't know. So you have to work to show yourself approved. Please, if you have that attitude of I don't care what people say and I'm just going to do what I feel like doing, that is not a good attitude. You cannot keep walking around life like that. You got to care what people say. You got to care what your reputation is. If your husband and if your wife has the impression that you are crazy, you better care that your spouse has that impression about you. Because guess what? I'm not going to trust a crazy person. That's why your marriage is falling apart. Because you have allowed that impression to stick. You got to change that impression. Some of you are so upset about how people are talking about you and how people don't trust you and how people don't love you and how your spouse does not love you and how this and how. That's just all I'm going to ask you. What role did you play in that? What role? What role did you play in the fact that people don't trust you? What role did you play in the fact that people don't give you anything to do at church because they know that you're not going to do it? Your husband does not tell you jack because he knows that you're not going to listen. Your wife does not give you anything because she knows that you're not going to return it. So, you have to take responsibility for your actions in whatever role that you played. Okay? I don't want to go too far. I just want to remind you to show up in life. There was a time in my life that I really, really used to worry about what so-and-so thought. And I worried that so-and-so didn't get my vision. I worried that my vision just seemed so big and people don't get it. I worried that I was an only child. I worried that I was in a cocoon on my own. I worried and worried and worried. My life was all about worry. And then I got to a season in my life where I told myself, look, as long as you are consistent, you will have the final laugh. As long as you are consistent, you will have the final say. So I'm going to wrap up with this. Continue to be consistent. You got to be consistent. That's the secret. Okay? The secret is to be consistent. The secret is to be consistent. And the only way that you're consistent is to show up. And when you show up, you go out. Because your food is outside. The food is not inside. How did the food get inside? Well, because you had to go out, right? Exactly. The hustle is outside. The work is outside. Do not allow the weather to determine everything that you're doing. Hello, Shamika. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you for being here, my sister. Hey, T. Thank you so much for being here all the way from Kentucky. Thank you so much for being here, my brother. Olu, thank you so much. Thank you, sister. Preach on. Agnes says, as long as you keep showing up, people won't have anything to say. Exactly. As long as you keep showing up, nobody will have anything to say. Olu says, truthful, truly truthful. Olu also says, consistency is the key. Yes, it is. Thank you, Natania. Thank you so much for watching today. God bless you. Ifoma says, that show. You are accountable and have integrity. Exactly. Agnes says, when you don't show up, you delay yourself and you give yourself a bad reputation. This is true. Olu, exactly. Anita says, regardless. Samuel says, awesome. Yes, regardless, you just got to keep showing up. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of how the weather is, regardless of how your kids are acting up, regardless if there's money or not, regardless if your period is there or not, regardless if you have kids or not. Do you even understand what my story is? Do you know what it means to keep doing ministry, to be married for almost a decade and you don't have a child? Do you even understand what that means? That doesn't bother me anymore. I used to be at a place in my life where I didn't even show up at certain events because I didn't have a child. And God has completely delivered me from that because I am not in control of that. Now that's an example of a weather. Do you understand? Life is full of different kinds of seasons and different weathers, and you are not in control of if it's going to rain today or if it's going to snow tomorrow. Just like I told you my story about yesterday. I left the house. Before I left the house, for goodness sake, it was perfect. And then I walked out and then it started raining, snowing. And then a few minutes later, it started raining. What? Am I going to go back home and not meet my appointment? Manhattan was literally like a flood yesterday. But I still had to make my appointment. You understand? So, like me, whether I have kids or not, I still have to pray for those babies. I still have to pray for people who come to me for prayer for the fruit of the womb. Whether I have kids or not, I still have to show up as a minister. Whether I'm happy or not, I still have to show up in the lives of people and in the life of myself. I don't sit down and have pity parties anymore, y'all. I really used to throw those parties. I used to throw a big old party and I'll be so sad and you know what? Granted, because my feelings were valid. But the truth is that the longer I stayed there, the harder it was for me to come out. So the secret is to get an umbrella and go out if it's raining. Do you understand? The word of God, you can't go wrong with this word. If you are confused, open this word. If you are confused, open this word. If you are confused, open this word. If you are tired, sleep. If you are angry, shut up. This is something that I learned. Some of us think that when we're angry, then we just have to pick up the phone and we just have to go. And you're just talking and talking and talking. The secret to really, really taking care of your anger is to completely, just shut up. Get a notepad, write down all of your emotions, everything that you're feeling. Why am I upset right now? Peel your emotions like an onion. Go deep into it. Then when you're done, you leave it alone and you go sleep, or you go take some ice cream, or you just watch a movie or something. But don't dwell in it and say, oh, I can't believe they did. I can't believe she said, I can't believe this is happening. No, stop it. Because if you keep looking at how the weather is, you're not going to do anything. It's going to be too hot and you're going to run out of sunscreen. Or it's going to be raining cats and dogs outside and you're not going to go out. Or the wind is too strong. You're not going to go out. Okay, so the weather should not determine nada. Okay, still go out. Still go out. Shamika says, get an umbrella. Yes. And Zhang Swats. Thank you so much for watching today. Shamika says, keep showing up. Shamika says, be consistent. Agnes says, the secret is consistency. Yes, it is. Shamika said, why am I upset right now? Don't dwell in it. Yes, do not dwell in it. Do not dwell in it. Okay, so I have to go speak at a Zoom meeting right now. I was invited by a very, very powerful woman of God in London, and I am really, really excited. I will be there in about 5 minutes. When I'm done with that meeting in an hour, I will be coming back on here, and I will be talking about the secret to slowing down, like the secret to catching up in life. God gave me that secret like 2 weeks ago, and I did something profound in my company. Something profound. Like, I did what I never thought I could do, and it has helped me. It has helped me at work. It has helped me in my marriage. It has helped me in my mind. Whew, it has helped me. So you're going to learn about that secret in an hour from now. So just make sure that you're coming on my page. Just be coming on my page. Just be coming on my page, because I'm going to come back today and I will be talking about slowing down. And there is one more topic that I will be talking on. Yeah, it's going to be like 2 segments. So I'm going to be back in an hour or 2, but just make sure that you're clicking on here. Okay. So what did I say today? Today I said, keep on showing up. Keep on showing up. Do not check out. The secret is to be consistent. The secret is to go out. Why do you go out? Because your food is outside. Type that down. Why do you go out? Because your food is outside. Please remember to click share. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not get out of this broadcast until you click share, click share, click share. And remember to sign up for the sex class that is March the 31st. God bless you so much for watching.